You think anger makes you train harder. It does not. Seneca, who wrote the most comprehensive study of anger in human history, called anger the most useless of all emotions. For the person who wants to perform at their highest level. Today, we break down exactly why and show you what to replace it with. Seneca wrote, "Anger is a brief madness, not passion, not intensity, madness." He spent years studying anger in De Ira, his complete treatise on the subject, and his conclusion was devastating. For anyone who uses anger as a training tool, anger narrows your attention to the source of the anger. It reduces your capacity for technical precision. It elevates cortisol and adrenaline in patterns that produce explosive short-term effort, but accelerate fatigue, impair form, and dramatically increase injury risk. The angry athlete lifting more than their body is ready for. That is not strength. That is temporary insanity. And temporary insanity has a well-documented ending. For the Stoic athlete, anger is not fuel. It is contamination. It contaminates your form, your decision-making, your recovery, and your relationship with your own training. Seneca said the first step in dealing with anger is to recognize it for what it is. Madness, brief, powerful, and completely within your power to refuse. Seneca wrote, "How much better to heal than to seek revenge from injury applied to training? How much better to address what is making you angry than to train through it blindly and pay the physical price?" Here is what anger actually costs the athlete who uses it as training fuel. First, technical precision. The angry athlete cannot feel the muscle working correctly because their attention is consumed by the emotion, not the movement. Every rep done in anger is a rep done with reduced mind-muscle connection. Second, recovery capacity. Sustained anger keeps cortisol elevated for hours after training. Elevated cortisol directly impairs the hormonal environment needed for muscle repair and growth. You train hard in anger and recover poorly because of it. Third, decision-making. The angry athlete adds weight they are not ready for, reduces rest time below what their nerves needs, skips warm-up because the anger creates artificial readiness. These decisions accumulate into overtraining, injury, and burnout. Fourth, enjoyment. Seneca understood that a practice done in anger becomes associated with anger. The training session that started with rage ends with exhaustion and resentment. Over time, training itself becomes something you approach with dread. The cost of anger in training is not abstract. It is measurable in missed sessions, in injuries, in progress that stalls because recovery is chronically compromised. Seneca paid attention to these costs with extraordinary precision. Now you know them too. Seneca did not say eliminate all intensity. He said, replace anger with something more powerful. He wrote, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Delay. Pause. The space between stimulus and response, where your rational mind can reassert control over your emotional state. For the Stoic athlete, the replacement for anger in training is what Seneca called controlled intensity, the focused, directed, philosophically grounded application of effort that produces everything anger promises and none of what anger costs. Here is how to build it. When anger arrives before or during training, pause completely. 5 seconds. Breathe. Feel the energy anger has generated in your body. Then deliberately redirect that energy, not toward the source of the anger, toward the movement in front of you. The anger wanted you to slam the weight and prove something to someone. The controlled intensity directs that same energy into the most precise, most powerful, most technically excellent execution of the movement possible. Same energy, different direction, dramatically different result. Seneca practiced this redirection for his entire philosophical life. He felt anger. He was extraordinarily honest about this. In De Ira, he simply refused to let it determine his actions. He used the delay to redirect the energy towards something genuinely productive. Your next angry training moment is waiting. Use the delay. Redirect the energy. Train with controlled intensity instead of temporary madness. Seneca built a specific daily practice for managing anger that every Stoic athlete needs to adopt. He wrote, "I make use of this opportunity. I plead my cause before the bar of self. When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day, going through what I have done and said." His evening review included a specific examination of his anger responses throughout the day. Where had he felt anger? What had triggered it? Had he delayed before responding? Had he redirected the energy productively? Or had he allowed the temporary madness to determine his actions? For the Stoic athlete this evening, anger review takes 30 seconds and asks 3 questions. Did anger arrive in my training today? What triggered it? And did I redirect it? Or did I let it drive? This daily examination builds awareness of your anger patterns. Faster than any other practice, you begin to see the specific triggers, the missed lift, the plateau, the comparison to others, that generate anger in your training. And awareness of the trigger is always the first step toward mastering the response. Seneca reviewed his anger every evening for decades. His philosophical writing on the subject is the most comprehensive ever produced, and it began with this simple daily practice of honest self-examination. Start tonight. Seneca called anger brief madness, and he spent his life proving that the person who masters their anger does not become less intense. They become more powerful, more precise, more capable of the sustained, controlled, philosophically grounded effort that genuine athletic excellence requires. Here are his 4 principles for the Stoic athlete. 1. Recognize anger as madness, not fuel. It costs you precision, recovery, decision-making, and enjoyment. 2. Use the delay. 5 seconds between stimulus and response. Every time. Without exception. 3. Redirect the energy. Same intensity, different direction. toward the movement, not the emotion. 4. Review daily. 30 seconds. Every evening. Where did anger arrive? Did you redirect it? Anger makes you feel powerful. Controlled intensity makes you actually powerful. Choose power. This is Stoic Athlete. Train your body. Master your mind. Nostras for a new video every week. Seneca is waiting.